All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah HaKwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakin, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And as you see, this article is from End Time Headlines, and it reads, driverless semis have begun running regular long-haul routes, which this just goes to show you that, as we've always been saying, man, AI is coming to take over your job, which will leave you destitute and dependent upon Esau if you believe in this system, man, right? But let's get into it. It says, in a groundbreaking development for the transportation industry, autonomous trucking company Aurora has launched. Matter of fact, let's go into this word Aurora, see if it has any significance, because Esau, the way he names his businesses, it's the spirit, right? It says morning light, which we understand he's the Lucifer on the left-hand side, man. And what he's doing is he's allowing this AI to become a quote-unquote God unto you, man. It was a spirit. I just came across an article that basically said it was a school in Texas that is it's a classroom being operated by AI, and students are loving it, man. Right? So Esau sees this as a new dawn, as the phoenix arising, as a rebirth of his empire or structure, man. Right? So it says, especially of dawn, and we know those lights, Aurora Borealis, is in Antarctica, I believe. But nevertheless, it's an omen, man. It's an omen. He sees it as a morning light, a dawn, or a new age, right? Matter of fact, let's get back here. It says, in a groundbreaking development for the transportation industry, autonomous trucking company Aurora has launched its first commercial driverless trucking service, operating regular long-haul routes between Dallas and Houston. Announced on Thursday, this marks a significant milestone in the adoption of self-driving technology, with Aurora's trucks now operating without human safety drivers for the first time. Aurora's commercial service, which began under contracts with Uber Freight and Hirschbach Motor Lines, specializes in delivering time and temperature-sensitive freight. Now, we understand if Esau controls this industry, what it does, it fully controls your supply industry of your goods and services of produce and food, man, right? Because the trucking industry is a huge industry which supplies every store, nationwide, and worldwide with goods that you need on a daily basis, man. Your produce, your meats, your grains, your water, so forth and so on. The trucking industry controls all this, as well as, the other goods and services, man, or it's like the other goods, right? So now Esau is trying to basically limit or completely control, this industry. Because right now this industry is ran by majority men. You have very few women that are in it, but it's a man pulled industry, or a man energized industry, I'll say. Right, and it's a serious job, man. You have men who are driving cross country every week to make sure that goods are being brought to your neighborhood Walmarts, and other businesses, man. Right, but this goes to show you that is going to soon try to replace these men, which is going to cause for conflict here in Babylon. This is Jeremiah 20. I said Jeremiah, Salakia. This is Job 20 and 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Now, this word wicked, this is why it's important to go into these words, as our apostles and elders always say, man. Because this word wicked doesn't just mean the wicked, but it means the workers, right? The word here is aimal, right? Which is the laborer, the sufferer, the workman, right? And why is the workman going to come against E? Because his jobs are going to be cut. So the check he has that is, allowing him to be quote unquote independent and serve his family, with housing, with, the things that they need, to sustain. He is ultimately going to try to break that industry down to where you don't need manpower. You may only need a person at the building or a few servicemen to literally service the trucks and or to program the coordinates into the computer of the interface of that truck to get to his destination, man. But what's also going to happen once they start doing this, people are going to start robbing these trucks, man, knowing that there's no man on there, especially when all hell breaks loose. People are going to be sticking up these trucks, man, or finding a way to break into them so that they can get the goods out of them. This is the time in which we're coming into, man. Complete destitution. And ultimately, if you don't have the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai within you, hey, you're through, man. You're through. So let's go back into this article, and now I'm going to jump into the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, right? I'm also grab that book of Ecclesiastes, speaking of the work, right? Continuing, says, both companies previously collaborated with Aurora during test runs, which included safety drivers to oversee the company's self-driving technology, known as the Aurora Driver. With the transitions to fully autonomous operations, Aurora is now the first company to deploy a commercial driverless trucking service on public roads successfully. And now we understand Esau did it with the shipping containers. You know, when I believe it's an automated port in San Francisco or somewhere in California. But it says, we founded Aurora to deliver the benefits of self-driving technology safely, quickly, and broadly. Right, because they don't have to take into account of a driver getting sick or calling in. They don't have to take into account of a driver resting on the road, you know, because of sleep deprivation. You know, they don't have to worry about these factors, right, that the average person have to deal with. They can just work the machine until it needs maintenance. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to cut out the human error, so to speak, right? The ability to get hungry or tired or need to pee, you know. He wants to cut all that out and get profit margins at the highest pace possible without anybody else benefiting, man. This is part of who the devil is, man, right? He already understands what times certain routes take because men have been running these routes for decades, right? So he knows it down to a T. Hey, you already go on your maps, your Apple Maps. It literally tells you, okay, it'll take 45 minutes to get to this destination to here. Hey, well, with a truck that's ran off of AI, that time is going to be known completely, man. You know, he don't have to rest on the brake because it's not anybody behind the wheel, you know. So he's about to cut out drivers from getting paid, man. And it's the spirit, really, because hey, if you've been seeing on social media, a lot of people have been saying, oh, get into the trucking industry, you know, they need more drivers. But now he is like, hey, we don't need more drivers now, you know. We just need the trucks. We don't need the man anymore, right? It says, we founded Aurora to deliver the benefits of self-driving technology safely, quickly, and broadly. Now we are the first companies to successfully and safely operate a commercial, driverless trucking service on public roads. Aurora's trucks are equipped with advanced computers and sensors capable of detecting obstacles at a distance equivalent to over 4 football fields. Over the past 4 years, the company's tech has completed more than 10,000 customer loads during practice hauls. Since the commercial launch, Aurora self-driving trucks have already logged over 1,200 miles without human intervention. The company is starting with a single autonomous truck but plans to expand its fleet by the end of 2025. Self-driving technology has been a focal point of innovation for over a decade, with major automakers like Tesla and General Motors investing billions in autonomous systems. States like Texas and California have become testing grounds for companies developing autonomous trucking solutions. Now let's get to this in the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, man. Hey, because this is the road Esau is going down. This is Isaiah 19, and I'm gonna start here at 14. And it reads, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do, right? So that the average worker is going to be losing his job due to artificial intelligence, man, right? And it's not just going to happen in the trucking industry. You already see it within your Walmarts and your grocery stores. Your average day grocery clerk is now behind one computer, and they only come over when the computer has basically halted you from continuing your transaction, man. You know, whether it's to scan the ID to see if somebody's over 21, if they're buying liquor, you know, or so forth and so on, man. But this just shows you he wants a planet in which you will own nothing, you will be happy, and everything else is automated around you. He wants full-time slaves. He doesn't want a generation of workers anymore, or a nation of workers. He wants a nation of slaves, man. A nation of those that are basically subjected unto him and whatever plans he's running, man. That's what E wants. Because he's finding out you don't need a man anymore. Right? And if you do want to still use a man, just put the technology within him. Make them transhuman. Make them biohackable. See, but your Christian church ain't telling you these things. Right? They already got automated pastors too. You know? So this is the way the world is turning, man. And ultimately, Yahweh Shemel Shah is allowing Esau to do this for an appointed time. Now, we understand the scripture says here in the book of Job 5 and 12 that the Lord won't allow him to fully do that enterprise, right? Job 5 and 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, right? When we read it in the NLT, it says he frustrates the plans of schemers so the works of their hands will not succeed. And that's the hands of the elite, right? Because the Lord is putting these thoughts and these plans into their minds for them to orchestrate it for this appointed time, for this age. But the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, isn't going to allow Esau to fully come into those plans, man. He's not about to chip everybody, man. Right? That's not about to happen. He's not about to have this system running at 100%. The nukes have to hit this place. Thus saith the scriptures. Right? So matter of fact, that's Job 5. I'm going to read this in Job 14 and 5. Right? And it reads, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Meaning what? He ain't just going to be able to do everything that he wants to do. Let's get back to it. It says California-based Gatik, for example, focuses on short-haul deliveries for retailers like Walmart, while Kodiak Robotics operates daily freight deliveries across the South, though still with safety drivers. Waymo, a subsidiary of Alphabet, briefly explored autonomous trucking but shifted its focus to self-driving ride-hailing services in 2023. Aurora's driverless routes represent a leap forward in the industry, but the technology is not without controversy. Safety concerns and the potential for job displacement have sparked debates among consumers, transportation officials, and labor unions. Aurora has sought to address safety concerns by releasing a comprehensive safety report this year detailing the functionality and reliability of its technology. However, skepticism persists. Earlier this year, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA, rejected a petition from Aurora and Waymo to replace traditional warning devices used when a truck breaks down with cab-mounted beacons. The Transport Workers Union argued that the proposed change could compromise safety, highlighting ongoing tensions between innovation and regulation. Unions representing truck drivers have also voiced opposition, of course, because they know, without or with the implementation of AI, that they no longer get a check, man. They can no longer provide for themselves or their loved ones, right? So when the scripture talks about they shall not regard their kings nor princes, it's due to laws and legislations that are coming into effect, man. Right? This Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And when we read that in the NLT, it says, what sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws. And this is one of those things in which AI can now take over what men have been doing from, beginning, so to speak. Right? Farming is going to be AI done. You already see that truck driving is going to be in it. Now, once it starts taking over the STEM fields, which is going to ultimately get there, it's going to get there. They already have AI doing certain nurse check-ins, man. Right? So Esau wants everything to be autonomous because he wants to be, he wants to make sure that he has to watch over everything. Right? Every facet of the world in which people have to interact with, he wants to make sure that he has his eyes on it, man. And that goes back to that God complex that he has due to the pride, right? So when we go back here into the book of 2 Thessalonians and 2 and 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, Esau, right? And it reads, for that day will not come until there is a great rebellion against Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and that man of lawlessness is revealed, the one who brings destruction, right? And that's Esau, right? When you go back into the word Marathiim in the book of Jeremiah, I believe 51, it says it means double rebellion, right? Which the word Nimrod goes back to rebellion as well, which this is modern day Babylon, man. This place is completely rebellious against the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And Esau is that son of perdition. It says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High. Right, and that's his God complex, believing he can do anything. Believing that the creation back in the book of Genesis, when the scripture says it was good, Esau is like, nah, it's not good enough for me. I can make it better. I can advance it. The human body has limitations. But he is trying to be like, oh, well, I can surpass those limitations. I can give sight back. Now, understanding he's doing it on the left-hand side. When the miracles were done back in the ancient days, when our forefathers, when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, when the apostles were on the scene, these were miracles done on the right-hand side. They didn't have to go under the knife to get these miracles to be done. It was through their faith they were healed, man. He is now doing miracles in the sight of the beast, as the scripture says in Revelation, the 13th chapter. Hey, and now you got people going in and leaving out worse than when they came in, man. Right? So he is trying to really exalt himself above the Lord, man. That's why he's telling you, hey, you want to continue to live in this society? Hey, well, you're going to have to take up this stigma, right? This charagma, this mark, to continue within the society that I'm allowing you to live in. I'm your God. You're going to bow down to me. You want to live in this society? Well, you have to go through my means first. This is what the devil wants, man. Hey, but you got Israelites telling you this is not what it is. Hey, and the Lord got a judgment stored up for them niggas, man. It says, or that is worshipped, so that he as a power sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is a power. So this devil ain't going to stop until he's taken out of the way, man. He's not going to stop until the Lord removes him from that position seat or that power seat. But, you know, that was the point of the lesson. I just want to bring this this information out, you know, bring it to the congregation. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah, Gwadash. A double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to you, Akim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.